Well, it's Juneteenth month and we are excited and ready. And what my task is today as Dr. Stinkin' Thinking is to begin to share with you stories concerning Juneteenth. So, parents, I want you to go and get your children and be ready to put them in front of the screen so that Dr. Stinkin' Thinking can share a story with them on this wonderful Juneteenth month. I am Dr. Stinkin' Thinking, and I'm looking forward to reaching your son, your daughter, and your grandchildren to read to them about Juneteenth. Okay, let's go. Celebrating Juneteenth by Jody Jensen Schaefer. And the illustration is done by Kathleen Pets- Pedelskin. She has a hard last name, guys. So we have 8 chapters in here. And the first chapter says, let's celebrate. Chapter 2 says, what was slavery? Chapter 3 says, you are free. Chapter 4 says, early Juneteenth celebration. Chapter 5, a state holiday. Chapter 6, Juneteenth celebrations. Chapter 7, a song celebrating Juneteenth. And Chapter 8, Poetry Corner. Okay, let's go in. Are we ready? Okay, here we go. Checking my camera, seeing which is the best way to give you, there we go, give you a nice view of the pictures. I like to show the pictures so that you can see a little bit of what we're talking about. That's my animated character behind me, Dr. Stinkin' Thinking, talking to a young lady. And so let's begin the story. Let's celebrate. It's June 19th. People are outside, they're having fun, they dance, they eat barbecue, they drink strawberry pop, kids play games, people listen to speeches. What are they celebrating? It's Juneteenth, a day that commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. Chapter 2. What was slavery? In the 1600s and 1700s, Black people in frozen Africa. They were brought to the American colonies and enslaved. They were forced to work without pay. They worked in fields. They worked in homes. Enslavers split up Black families. They treated them badly. In the northern United States, enslaved people often worked in cities. In the southern, most enslaved people worked on large farms called plantations. Some people were against enslaving people. They thought slavery was wrong. In the 1808, Congress stepped in. It said enslaved people could no longer be brought into the country, but slavery continued. In the South, enslavers there claimed they needed the labor of the unpaid workers. Wow. By 1860, there were nearly 4 million enslaved people in the United States. Many people in the North wanted to end slavery. Most people in the South did not. The fight over slavery grew. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president. He was against slavery. He wanted to make it against the law. This started a war in 1861. It was called the Civil War. States in the North were part of the Union. They did not want slavery. States in the South were in the Confederacy. They wanted slavery to continue. Let's see if you can see the picture. See the war, different things that they're fighting. Okay, okay, I see it. Chapter 3. You are free. President Lincoln. Now, I want you guys to listen to this, okay? Because this one shook me up. President Lincoln did not want anyone to be enslaved. On January the 1st, 1863, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. It said all enslaved people in the Confederacy were free. But states in the Confederacy did not want to follow Lincoln's orders. Texas was part of the Confederacy. Around 250,000 people were enslaved there. Enslavers in Texas did not tell their workers they were free. And the reason why I wanted you to pay attention to this is because I read in another book that I'll share with you one day that President Lincoln really didn't want the slaves to be free either. He didn't like it, but he didn't want to ruffle up a lot of feathers as well. And so that's why in some states it took 2.5 years for it to be known to them because he didn't want to make them too mad to where he didn't have enough people to help fight the fight. He even had a plan that he wanted all the blacks to go and be shipped to Haiti and to live there. But when the people said, no, that don't make any sense. And then black people started saying, we helped build this country. Why should we have to leave? And that's the truth. They did. And so I just wanted people to know because that was a green light that hit me. President Lincoln, even though we represent him for Black History Month and things like that because of his birthday, deep down in his heart, guys, he really didn't want the slaves to be free either. And so I want y'all to keep that in the back of your head. No one ever told me that, but as I read it and discovered it for myself, I'm saying it. Okay, so the enslaved people finally found out more than 2 years later. On June 19th, 1865, General Gordon Granger rode into town. He led Union Army soldiers to Galveston, Texas. The soldiers went there to take back the state. They brought a special message from the president. You are free. General Granger read Order Number 3. It said, the people of Texas are informed that all slaves are free. Do I sound like a general? People cheered, they prayed, they sang, they danced. Some left Texas right away. They went to find family in the North. They went where they were welcome. Hello, somebody. It's got a little stamp down here that says, in December of 1865, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution was passed. It said that slavery was against the law. All right, let me show you the picture. I'm sorry about that. All right, let's see. Come on, picture. Oh, you're trying to be slick. There we go. So that's him. He's reading the rule number 3, and it says, "You are free." Okay, let's see. Chapter 4: Early Juneteenth celebrations. Hello, somebody. People call Juneteenth different things. Some call it Jubilee Day. Some call it Freedom Day. Some call it Emancipation Day. The word Juneteenth comes from June and 19. It was the day all enslaved people were freed. The first Juneteenth celebration took place in Texas in 1866. Freed men, women, and children gathered. They prayed and sang. They ate and marched. Some wore new clothes. The clothes stood for their new freedom. More communities joined in. Several groups brought land. This land was used to celebrate Juneteenth. They called the land Emancipation Park. The celebration spread. People outside of Texas joined in. Many in the United States celebrated. Many in the world celebrated. So it wasn't just Black people then. All races were celebrating because this was something big, not just for the Blacks, but for society as a whole. Okay? So in the picture, it says some of the first Juneteenth celebrations were held in churches. People dressed in new clothes and sang songs. Try to show you the picture real quick. Come on. Uh, behave. There we go. See them celebrating? Uh huh. Good job. I'm going to get a good shot one day. Okay. There we go. Come on, girl. There we go. All right. Chapter 5. A state holiday. Juneteenth wasn't as popular in the 1960s. Hello there. I was born in 1960s. I was a 1968 baby. And it says that Juneteenth wasn't as popular in the 1960s. African Americans focused on other things. They fought hard for their civil rights. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was one of many people who led the fight. He wanted Black people to have the same rights as whites. He wanted Black people to be able to vote. He wanted them to have access to a good education. He wanted fair trials. Now, there's a lady here they're highlighting. Her name was Opal, Opal Lee. She is the grandmother from Texas. Although in her 90s, she walks all across the country to bring attention to Juneteenth and the need for a national holiday. And when I show you the picture, it'll show her holding up the sign. Juneteenth, a national holiday. Opal Lee, remember her name. Juneteenth became popular again in the 1970s. Texas made Juneteenth a state holiday in 1980. Some people wanted it to be a national holiday when he was a senator. Uh-oh, here he comes. Barack Obama tried to make it a national holiday. The key word was tried. Now, 47 states officially celebrate Juneteenth. Other countries also celebrate it. They used the day to mark the end of slavery. They celebrate the stories of African Americans. They honor all they have done. And so I want to show you Miss Opal Lee with her banner. Even in her 90s, she began to march. She began to do the things that we should be doing today. Chapter 6. Now this is interesting to me. This is where all that red stuff came from. Juneteenth celebration. What happens on Juneteenth? Each city does it differently. Celebrations can be one day, they can be 1 week, they can even be 1 month long. People eat together, they eat red foods and red drinks. Watermelon, strawberries, red soda, those are good. Red is the symbol of freedom. See my shirt? See the red in her hair bow? It's the symbol of freedom. Okay? That's why they talk about the red velvet cake and different things like that. But I like the fact that Juneteenth is not just today, celebrated on the 19th, but we use the whole month. You could do it the week before, you could do it the week after. When I started doing these recordings, I did it the week before June even came, so that when it's time for June to kick in, I can just send it, send it, send it. They'll already be done. Yes. So, uh, storytelling is a big part of Juneteenth celebrations, and that's what we're doing today. We're telling the story and we're continuing to share what happened. Stories remind people about the first days of freedom. Families play baseball on Juneteenth. People go fishing. Yes, the Detervilles, we will be going fishing. They play baseball. They listen to speeches. They learn about the past and dream about the future. They pray and sing. In some places, people put on plays. They act out the day General Granger rode to Texas. Remember in the previous chapters, he came in his uniform and he had that scroll, a piece of paper that says, "You are free." There are parades, bands play music, dance, uh, dancers dance, and museums hold events. Some companies give employees the day off. People register to vote. Chapter 7. A song celebrating Juneteenth. And this is a very good part where we all can participate when we get to it. Okay? James Weldon Johnson wrote a poem in 1900. It was called Lift Every Voice and Sing. His brother, J. Rosamond Johnson, set it to music. Over the years, many people have sung this song. They sang it at Juneteenth celebrations. It is sometimes called the Black National Anthem. In 2020, the National Football League played this song before each season game opener. Now, parents, I want you to get with your children as we begin to sing this song. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day beginning. begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Now, there were two more passages that we can sing, and we will sing them as we go through the story. But I wanted to make sure that we at least got one in so that you heard the tempo and you actually can hear how they were singing. Yes, speak, Holy Ghost. Chapter 8, Poetry Corner. Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. She had four names. Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Frances Ellen Watkins Harper was a teacher and an abolitionist. She was against slavery. She was one of the first African American women to be published in the United States. Bury Me in a Free Land was published in her 1854 book, Poems on Miscellaneous Subjects. And it goes like this. Bury me in a free land. Make me a grave where you will, in a lowly plain or a lofty hill. Make it among earth's humblest graves, but not in a land where men are slaves. I could not rest if around my grave I heard the steps of a trembling slave. His shadow above my silent tomb would make it a place of fearful gloom. I could not rest if I heard the tread of a coffle gang to the shambles led. And the mother's shriek of a wild despair rise like a curse on the trembling air. I could not sleep if I saw the lash drinking her blood at each fearful gash. I saw her babes torn from her breast like trembling doves from their parent nest. I'd shudder and start if I heard the bay of bloodhounds seizing their human prey. And I heard the captive plead in vain as they bound afresh his guiling train. If I saw young girls from their mother's arms, battered and sold for their youthful charms, my eye would flash with a mournful flame, my death pale cheek grow red with shame. I would sleep, dear friends, where bloated might can rob no man of his dearest right. My rest shall be claimed in any grave where none can call his brother a slave. I ask no monument, proud and high, to arrest the gaze of the passers by. All that my yearning spirits crave is bury me not in the land of slaves. Woo! Shundo! That was powerful. Now, this one in this back part of the story, it shows you about joining in the spirit of Juneteenth. And it asks a couple of questions. Are you ready for the questions? Let's go. Is there a Juneteenth celebration in your area? If so, go and enjoy the sights and sounds. What does it mean to be free? Hmm. Write a poem or song about what freedom means to you. One of our greatest freedoms is the ability to choose our leaders. Ask the people in your family if they are registered to vote. If not, help them get registered. Hello, somebody. Making a celebration flag. Now, this one is just instructions on how different things happen. And they see the pictures of the flag. They were just showing you how you can make a celebration flag with many colors, bright according to whatever made you feel worth doing. Okay. It says you can celebrate Juneteenth by creating your own flag. Flags are usually rectangular. They have colors and pictures that are meaningful. Take your flag with you to celebrate Juneteenth. Uh-oh, for those that love to cook, they even put a recipe in this book. Ah, I'm rhyming. Make red velvet cake. So they even have a recipe for you to make red velvet cake. Now look how that picture came in nice and clear to get that recipe. But every time I tried to show a picture to something else, it wouldn't come through. Ah, look a here, look a here. Okay, so that concludes my story. At the end of this book, there were some vocabulary words. I'm going to read them to you and tell you the definition because knowledge and applied knowledge is where we're going with this. All right? So, aboli- abolitionist. Abolitionist means someone who worked to end slavery. Amendment. It means a change to a legal document. Civil rights. It means rights for equal opportunity regardless of race or religion. Colonies. It means lands with ties to a mother country. Commemorate. That means to remember. Confederacy. That is the group of 11 southern states that tried to leave the United States, causing the Civil War. This happened back in 1860 to 1865. Emancipation Proclamation. This means a document that declared that all enslaved people were free. Enslaved. That means a person who is forced to work without pay for someone else. Now, you remember that word enslaved. I'm going to add more to that in the end. Plantation. We have just three more. Plantation. This is a large farm where crops are grown. And symbol. Symbol means an object, image, or word that stands for an idea. And lastly, the glossary word we're going to talk about is union. The group of northern states that did not support slavery during the Civil War. And that's how they reference those words in this book. Now, I told you I was going to come back a little bit more about enslaved. Sharing this story today and for the Juneteenth month of 2025 cannot just stop with us telling the story. Our ancestors wouldn't have had it that way. Now, the thing I challenge you to do, young people and parents, there is another form of enslavement that's going on today in 2025. Well, there's several. But right now, spiritually, I'm putting on my clergy hat. We are enslaved in our minds. And I feel like while we're physically free as a race, mentally, we still tell ourselves what we can and cannot do, what we're limited to, or we put the blame on someone else. Well, it's because of this, it's because of that. The battle starts in the mind. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future." So God already knew the plans that He had for us. Okay? So I have a picture in my office that says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." But in order for you to be that change that you wish to see in the world, guess what? It has to start in the mind. If you're having problems at school, young people, and the people, you're now in summer mode, and so you're happy that that's all over and done with. But if you're having problems in school, if you're having problems during the summer, I want you to go to an adult. I want you to go to someone, and someone wise that can really guide you in the right direction. If they're telling you something that doesn't seem right in your spirit, then walk away. Do not listen to bad advice. But if you know that this is something safe and wholesome, I want you to be able to share that and be able to talk to someone, because that's going to be very important in these next 5 years of what we're trying to do in this society. Okay? Parents, I want to thank you for taking the time to allow your young people, your grandbabies, Pookie and Ray Ray and them, all of them come and listen to a story read for Juneteenth month by Dr. Stinkin' Thinking. We will be back. I have more Juneteenth books that I have would like to share with them. And so we will be reading them at other times. But I'm just excited to get the month of June off to a great start. I am your Southeast Regional Director for Black Wall Street, and I thank you for this opportunity. My name is Pastor Evelyn Deterville, and it was a joy to be able to serve you. Once again, thank you for all that you're doing, and I'll see you on the next book reading. Have a blessed day.